You can't just. Hey everyone, Henrietto here, welcome back. Today we are going to watch Hitchcock's Strangers on a Train, which is a crime thriller movie. Now, I'm not familiar with the cast for this movie. I'm not familiar with the actors or actresses because there's no James Stewart, there's no Cary Grant, Ingrid Bergman, Joan Fontaine. It's almost as if it's a completely new cast. The only one who seems familiar is Pat Hitchcock, who is Hitchcock's daughter. I think we did see her briefly in Psycho, but I'm not so familiar with her, so I'm not even sure if I can recognize her if I do see her later on. After this movie, I will be watching another Hitchcock movie before I switch to something else and then come back for another Hitchcock run. Pretty sure we've covered a lot of Hitchcock's movies already. There shouldn't be that many left. I think I did miss out some because I couldn't find it, but I'll try to find it in the final run of Hitchcock.
Excuse me. I beg your pardon. Aren't you Guy Haynes? My name is Bruno. Bruno Anthony. See? I don't talk much. You go ahead and read. Thanks.
Still pretty awkward.
It must be pretty exciting to be so important.
Tennis player isn't so important.
Okay, he's a tennis player.
Cigarette?
Not now, thanks. I don't smoke much.
Oh, here. From A to G. Ann Norton. Like, who would like to marry whom when his wife gets her divorce?
Perhaps you read too much.
Oh, there I go again.
That hit a nerve. Is he married and he wants to divorce his wife to be with Anne Morton?
When's the wedding?
Unless they legalize bigamy overnight.
Oh, I've got a
Yep.
wonderful theory about that. Right now, I suppose that divorce is, well, the simplest operation. I went to college, got kicked out of 3 of them, drinking and gambling. My father, he hates me. With all the money he's got, he thinks that I ought to work my way up selling paint or something. I get so sore at him sometimes, I want to kill him. I've got a theory. You should do everything before you die.
That's why you have a bucket list.
Have you ever driven a car blindfolded at 150 miles an hour?
Not the best thing to do.
I flew in a jet plane, too.
Blindfolded?
I'm going to make a reservation on the first rocket to the moon.
He's not gonna get that reservation.
What did you say her name was? Your wife's?
Miriam,
Suppose you played around a lot, huh?
skip it, Bruno.
Want to hear one of my ideas for a perfect murder? Carbon monoxide in the garage.
Shadow of a doubt.
What is a life for 2 guys? Some people are better off dead. Let's say that you'd like to get rid of your wife. What would trip you up? The motive. 2 fellows meet accidentally, like you and me. They swap murders. Each fellow does the other fellow's murder. Then there's nothing to connect them. Each one has murdered a total stranger.
What do you think this is, like a double date? A double murder?
You think my theory's okay, Guy? You like it? Sure, Bruno, sure.
Sure. Just get out of there as fast as you can. This guy's a bit dangerous in the head. Oh, is that Hitchcock?
Hiya, Bill.
Guy Haynes. Good to see you, boy.
Park these in a lucky spot for a few hours, will you?
Sure thing.
What time do we meet your lawyer?
What's your hurry?
My hurry? That's funny coming from you. You're the one who's in a hurry, aren't you? It's pretty late to start flirting with a discarded husband, especially when you're going to have another man's baby.
Oh, she pregnant.
Did you bring the money? Lawyers are expensive.
Yes.
If I'd known what all that tennis nonsense of yours was going to lead to, I wouldn't have run out on you. I'm not getting a divorce.
You little double-crosser.
Oh, she wants to keep getting money from him.
I'm coming to Washington. Have my baby and be with you.
It's not my baby.
Yes, but people don't know that guy, do they?
He run out on you?
No man runs out on me, Guy, not even you.
I never want to see or hear you again.
I could be very pathetic as the deserted little mother in a courtroom. Guy, think it over. You can't throw me away like an old shoe. I'm coming to Washington to have my baby. Tell on to the Senate.
Oh. She's trying to smooch off him.
But you sound so savage, Guy.
She's a savage one.
I said I could strangle her.
I do wish you'd keep your hands quiet.
Strangulation again.
Now get shaved before your father gets home.
I'm sick and tired of bowing and scraping to the king. That's the old boy, all right. That's father.
Bruno, come here. I want to talk to you and your mother.
Sorry, father. Long distance.
Must you always take
Hello.
that tone with Bruno?
What tone he was talking normally? As far as I can tell.
Bruno Anthony. Don't you remember? On the train. Are you getting a divorce? Oh, so she double-crossed you.
I'm going to have that boy taken care of. If necessary, put under restraint.
Why would his father say that? Unless Bruno has been doing certain things. Does he plan to kill her right away? Even before discussing it with Guy?
Hey, we're gonna go to the Tunnel of Love.
The Tunnel of Love, come on!
A tunnel of love with two guys.
Pick 'em up. Bang, bang.
Oh, I half expected him to do that.
Who else wants to take a chance and win a Cupid doll?
A Cupid doll.
Why, he's broken the thing.
If she wants to fool around that much, she shouldn't have gotten married.
Hang it away, Admiral. You see you know how to steer this stuff.
Oh, they drive the thing themselves. No, the ones I've seen are automated.
Come on, Miriam. Please. Don't worry, we're all in there.
Of course, he couldn't have done it in a tunnel of love. There's three of them.
Let's not break a leg. There, we got news for you later.
Now I really feel sorry for Guy.
Is your name Miriam?
Oh, yes. How did you...
Oh, right away. No further talking. Oh, the way it reflects on her glasses. To show the murder.
Come on, stop fooling. They didn't give us a slip, huh? Miriam, where are you?
Oh, I thought he was gonna leave the lighter there. That would frame Guy.
Look, she's fainted. Come on, Miriam, get up.
She's dead. I guess he's in a good mood to go help a blind old man. Now, Bruno's a dangerous fellow. He goes and kills Miriam without telling or consulting with Guy. And Guy never agreed to it, even though he's really angry. He says he wants to strangle her, but he wouldn't really go through with it.
Name's Collins. On sabbatical, Delaware Tech.
Who had a goat? I brought you a little present. It was very quick, Guy. She wasn't hurt in any way.
What do you mean she wasn't hurt in any way? She was strangled to death.
Why, you maniac! You wanted it. We planned it on the train together, remember?
No, you didn't.
Why should I go to Metcalf to kill a total stranger? Unless it was part of the plan and you were in on it. If you go to the police now, you'll just be turning yourself in as an accessory. You have the motive.
That's true. Who would the police believe? If the police arrest them both, then all Bruno has to do is just say that Guy hired him.
About my father. See, I've got the plan of the house already made.
I never saw you before. I never want to see you again. But we have...
Dang, if I was in that situation, I wouldn't want to see Bruno again either. He's dangerous.
Of course I'm all right. But you sound upset. Is anything wrong? All right. I'll come over right away.
He's got to get rid of the glasses because that's evidence.
Good evening, sir.
Oh, Dr. Murchison.
Something dreadful's happened, Guy.
Sit down, Barbara. It concerns your wife. She's been murdered.
Miriam murdered.
She was strangled. Police will say Guy wanted Miriam out of the way so he could marry Anne. If he hasn't an alibi for 9:30 tonight, he has plenty to worry about.
I was on the train from New York to Washington.
Oh yeah, the singing guy, calculus guy,
Well, yes, I did speak to someone. Collins. He's a professor.
Delaware Tech.
Harvard?
Delaware Tech.
It's not your fault. It's not as though anyone can say you had anything to do with it.
Poor, unfortunate girl.
She was a tramp.
She doesn't hold back.
To life in the pursuit of happiness.
From what I hear, she pursued it in all directions.
Barbara, one doesn't always have to say what one thinks.
Father, I am not a politician.
You won't forget that call, guy. Captain Turley.
Yes, sir.
I kept remembering what you shouted on the phone from Metcalf. Forget you ever said it.
In truth, he really didn't have anything to do with it because Bruno acted by himself. But that's gonna be hard to prove. What Barbara Morton said was right though. Miriam is for the streets.
I'm terribly sorry, but I really don't remember meeting this gentleman.
Oh, he must have been drunk.
You were singing a song about a goat
A goat?
and calculus. You were going over a speech you'd made.
I was?
There goes his witness and alibi.
I've been able to name a man who was on the train with me. Isn't that proof of where I was at 9:30 last night? When an alibi's full of bourbon, sir, it can't stand up.
You mean the professor was Boyle?
They suggested I could have caught the train at Baltimore after Miriam was murdered.
Wasn't there a train conductor?
My guardian angel.
You're being tailed.
Perhaps I better forget about Forest Hills.
Wouldn't it look rather awkward if you suddenly canceled all your plans?
Yeah, that would be suspicious.
You know, I've never seen the Forest Hills tournament before. I'm kind of looking forward to it.
When I'm through with tennis, I'm going into politics. I hope.
Politics. Good thing for you, I don't report that to the chief.
That's very scary to have Bruno following him like that. Dear guy, we must get together and make plans. My father will be going away soon. Call me. B. Burn it. Yeah, that's right.
Guy,
Will you stop pestering me?
you're making me come out into the open.
I tried calling you on the phone. Didn't you get my note?
Oh no.
Why haven't you called me?
Stay away from me, I'm telling you.
His little tie pin gave him away.
Barbara, who are you waving at?
Mr. Hennessy, I think it's a shame Daddy won't let us have him in to sit down.
Oh, he's giving him the plan, even though Guy didn't agree to it.
This is Mr. Anthony, a friend of Monsieur and Madame Darville.
I've been a fan of yours for a long time, Mr. Haynes.
Il les connaît, écoute, dis-lui dans l'histoire des trois petits chiens sur le bout. Oh, mais oui.
Now there's a connection. Then Barbara kind of reminds me of the kid back in Shadow of the Doubt.
Barbara, this is Mr. Anthony.
How do you do?
Is your name Miriam?
What? Does Barbara have some kind of sixth sense or something? It's a very nice effect though, like that, seeing the reflection of the lighter right in front of her glasses. I wonder how they did it.
Good evening, Miss Morton.
This is Mr. Anthony, Father.
I'll tell you about my idea for harnessing the life force. It'll make atomic power look like the horse and buggy. Can you imagine being able to smell a flower on the planet Mars?
He has a vision that's way too far in the future.
You seem very interested in the subject of murder.
Everyone's interested in that. Everyone has somebody that they want to put out of the way.
Not me.
How are you going to do it? That's the fascinating part.
I can take him out in the car, knock him on the head with a hammer, pour gasoline over him and over the car, and set the whole thing ablaze.
Then have to walk all the way home? Oh, no. You don't mind if I borrow your neck for a moment, do you?
No, that's weird. And she let him.
Now, when I nod my head, try to cry out, and I'll bet you can't do it.
Oh, perhaps Barbara reminds Bruno of Miriam because of the glasses.
Mr. Anthony, I'm sent to help, help, help.
What happened?
I don't know. He seemed to have fainted.
What was the matter with the lady? She was just frightened.
I think we're playing a game of some sort.
So strange.
I was in the merry-go-round somewhere. It made me dizzy.
Is he feeling guilty? The murder he committed had an impact on him. I suppose that's his first murder. Oh. Is she crying?
He looked at me, and he was strangling me. Oh,
I
it was horrible.
see. Perhaps Barbara could sense his killing intent.
Thought he was murdering me. Why me, Anne? Why me?
Because she was wearing the same type of glasses as Miriam. So it wasn't guilt, he was just raring to do it again.
He killed Miriam, didn't he?
Yes. He's a maniac. He suggested that if he got rid of Miriam for me, I should kill his father. And now a lunatic wants me to kill his father.
It's too fantastic.
Yes, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you call the police?
And have them say what you did. How did you get him to do it? And Bruno would say we planned it together.
Mm-hmm. You don't stand a chance in court.
This is why I didn't want you to know anything about it. Now that you know, you're acting guilty too. I mustn't drag anyone else in this.
There's a lot of small little cuts throughout the movie, isn't there?
Bruno, I'll make that little visit to your father. How about tonight? Yes, I want to get this thing over with.
Would Guy really do it, or is he gonna warn his father about it? Oh yeah, I forgot they had a dog. Bruno didn't say anything about a dog. It's a really big dog, too. He's really gonna do it? See, this is why you always lock your bedroom door. So if someone sneaks in, then, well, it's locked.
I must talk to you about your son. About Bruno, Mr. Anthony.
Oh.
Yes, Mr. Haynes?
If he had just fired the pistol, Bruno would be dead.
But you made such a sudden decision. I wondered why.
I thought he'd be interested to know he has a lunatic son.
Well, then you'll have no further use for my key.
Or the gun.
Nor this. You're terribly sick. Why don't you go someplace where you can get some kind of treatment?
Oh, that's gonna trigger him.
I don't like to be double-crossed. I have a murder on my conscience, but it's not my murder. It's yours.
He could still shoot Guy and claim it was self-defense. Just say that Guy broke into the house.
Don't worry. I'm not going to shoot you, Mr. Haynes. It might disturb Mother. I'll think of something better than that.
Then if your father was there and Guy committed the crime and wake up Mother, then Guy would have been caught, which means he didn't care about the guy in the first place.
Came back at 3:25. I didn't even know he gave me the slip until I heard his phone ringing for about half an hour.
I should think this calls for more questioning, Mr. Haynes.
Questioning? Let's take him in.
There's no evidence that he was ever at the scene of the crime. Now, can't you get that into your thick head?
Miss Morton, I'm sure that this whole thing is just some practical joke.
Your son is responsible for a woman's death.
Did Bruno tell you this?
Of course not.
But there you are.
She's a little, well, how shall I say, confused. Poor Mother.
Oh, he still has the lighter.
He tried to get me to go back to the island one night after dark to pick up his lighter. He dropped it there, you know, that night. All the police are waiting for is one piece of evidence to convict Guy of the murder.
He planted that thought in Anne's head so that Anne would ask Guy about the lighter. And when the guy can't produce the lighter, then Anne would be led to believe Bruno's words.
That lie about my wanting him to get it back means he's going to put my lighter on that island.
You've got to get to Medcalf before he does. You haven't time to play. You better tell him.
No.
Hennessy's bound to be suspicious.
Yeah.
You stay right here and help me give Hennessy the slip after the match. He's not going to expose himself in broad daylight.
It's the first time I ever waited for a murder suspect to play tennis before I pulled him in.
Make sure Barbara has everything ready as soon as the third set starts.
Oh, so Barbara knows already. Well, yeah, actually seeing Barbara's personality, I think I can trust Barbara.
Guy Haynes is a quiet, methodical player. He plays slowly between points, well within himself.
Now we're watching a tennis match. Why does the court look kinda small from this angle?
Guy Haynes is hitting harder, taking chances I've never seen him take. This is a complete reversal of his usual watch and wait strategy.
Well, he's rushing for time.
Give the driver this $10.
I wish I understood what this is all about.
I'll tell you that later.
Oh, okay, a change of clothes.
Mr. Reynolds wins the third set, with Mr. Haynes leading 2-1.
He's under two different kinds of pressure. The competition pressure and Bruno pressure. Well, I guess the luck is on Guy's side.
30-all.
My cigarette case. It's very valuable.
This guy knows Guy Haynes.
Well, don't just stand here. Do something.
Relax, mister.
I don't want to relax.
Ah, now it's gone. I wonder if that lighter was magnetic. Could he have used like a magnet to like pull it up?
40-30. Just 1 point between Haynes and the match.
The background is just a picture. Your hand ain't gonna go that far down. His hand is long. He actually got it.
The match, Mr. Haynes.
He won. It calls for a celebration. Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's quite all right.
Anything.
Hard to escape from two people tailing you.
Yes, sir. Penn Station.
Taxi driver didn't have a doubt. He didn't hesitate. Yes, it's you. Absolutely. I know your face. Guy Haynes. Oh man, can he make it though? I feel like he's a bit late because Bruno's already almost there.
Let him go there. This may lead to something big. Come on, we'll phone Metcalf and let them take over at that end.
Oh, excuse me. It's quite all right. In about 30 minutes, I believe.
The same way Guy met Bruno.
Reporting Guy Haynes' arrival at railroad station. Suspect bound for amusement park and taxi.
Oh, I wonder how's it all gonna end? Because all the police are suspecting Guy, but no one's suspecting Bruno. I'd like to see how they're gonna make this work. Is it gonna be a happy ending or a tragic ending?
There he is now. You pick up Johnny there, and the two of you follow him down.
Good. If you see him, let us know.
That's the same boat guy who noticed Bruno when Bruno was walking away from the murder scene.
It'll be a few minutes late.
But yeah, the boat guy might not remember him since it's been so long already. He does. Oh, he has a great memory.
Hey, Bruno! Bruno! Hey!
You can't just fire a shot for... All he did was get on the merry-go-round. Whoa. He killed the operator. Poor guy.
Give me that lighter.
Well, the kids are having fun.
That's him. He's the one who killed her.
Of course he is. We know that.
No, he's not talking about Guy.
Get someone to stop this thing.
I can handle it.
Hey, be careful. Stop. Well, do you want to do it yourself?
No, I guess he can make it all right.
I thought it slowed down already. Calm down, the boy's having a great time. Oh no. Oh, okay. I thought I was gonna fling him right out to space. Oh yeah, gotta be careful of the hooves coming down. Oh. Oh, he's gonna get flung out. Don't worry, take your time, old boy. He's already doing a lot by risking his life already. Damn. Whoa, 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 whoa. The whole thing got destroyed. Now, I'm curious how they made the effect. Like, how did they make it look like Guy was actually hanging or his body was flung around?
He says this isn't the man we want. I've never seen this man before in my life. I meant the other one.
What's this all about, Haynes?
Let me talk to him. Let me show you.
Oh, he got crushed by the horse.
They got you at last, huh, Guy?
Of course he won't admit it.
Can you tell the chief you have my lighter?
Why would he tell them that?
It's on the island where you left it.
See?
Can I go through his pockets?
No, Haynes says he hasn't got it.
Let the police go through his pockets then.
He's finished.
Is this it? Well, you were right.
Who was he, Bud?
Bruno Anthony. Very clever fellow.
Oh, it's a happy ending.
I beg your pardon, but aren't you Guy Haynes?
No. He's learned his lesson now. Don't talk to strangers. I wonder if this is why some celebrities, they don't like to meet fans because they don't know what kind of lunatic they're gonna meet. So they just act cold or they just ignore the fan. But nah, I guess that's just, it depends. You know, some people prefer their privacy and it's fine. Let me double check if the Emma Newton in Shadow of a Doubt is the same actor as Barbara. Oh no, oh, wrong name. It isn't Emma Newton. It's Anne Newton. I'm so sorry, I got the name wrong. Barbara Morton was Pat Hitchcock. Whoops. They kind of look the same, probably because of the glasses. When Bruno met with Guy and then he started talking about exchanging murders, for a short moment I almost thought it was going to be similar to Rope, where they would both, you know, try to kill just to experience the fun of it. But apparently it's not that. Bruno is a psychopath or a lunatic who just wants his father killed. His ideas, such as preserving the first rocket to the moon or smelling a flower on Mars, it's thinking really far ahead, like 100 years ahead, or even more than that, because we can't even send anyone, any living person to Mars yet. But other than that, I suppose he also doesn't regard life as very important, and we can see how he treats the children, although I can't say that conclusively since he did help an old blind man cross the street. So yeah, it's hard to say how a person truly is just by seeing one or two of his actions. The idea of swapping murders, I suppose it could be considered a pretty good idea if, you know, two people are complete strangers and then they also kill strangers, so there's no motive and they have alibis. So it's feasible, it can be done, and it'll be very hard for the police to trace it back. But nowadays we have DNA and cameras and everything, so it would still be tough. And the thing with Miriam, how did Guy marry a woman like Miriam who just likes to fool around and she's even pregnant with another man's baby? And this is one of the reasons why you shouldn't just rush into marriage so quickly. You don't just date for like 3 days and a week and then, you know, we decide to get married. You should get to know the person better, like go on a few more dates. Otherwise, you know, you end up in a situation like Guy. Also, when Miriam decided not to go through with the divorce, I think Guy could have pushed it through, couldn't it? Because with a divorce, I'm sure most of the time one party wants a divorce and the other party doesn't agree. So I'm sure there's a way to get around it. Like the party who wants a divorce could still push through with the divorce by going to court or something, right? Unless the law was different back then. I wouldn't know about that. But as far as I know, I think if one party wants to proceed with divorce, even if the other party does not agree, they could settle it in court. During the merry-go-round fight scene, I am curious how they made it happen. Like, I suspect that they just shot a scene with the merry-go-round of them fighting, and then the background is probably like a moving picture. You know, it just looks like everything's flashing by, but of course they're not actually on the merry-go-round that's moving at 100 kilometers per hour. Because if they were, people would have been flung out already, because it's moving in a circular motion, so the G-force would always push people out. So they couldn't have stayed on there if the merry-go-round was going really, really fast. But what I'm curious about is how they made Guy look like he's really hanging on for dear life. Like his shoes, his feet were literally just... So it makes me wonder how they did that, unless they shot that scene like with guy actually hanging. That part was really nice. It looked very realistic because back then, without CGI, the way they're able to create these kind of scenes, it's very creative. I was wrong about the Hays Code thing. Apparently, the Hays Code lasted until 1968. So yeah, there was no possible way this was going to be a bad ending where the murderer escaped. I thought it was until 1950, but I was wrong. It's until 1968, the Hays Code. Still, this movie is a very interesting movie with the idea of swapping murders. If it was a more modern movie, perhaps they would be able to explore the possibilities of both of them agreeing to it, to swap the murders, I mean, and then seeing how the police would catch them or how they would get away with it. That would allow the movie to go in much different directions. What did you think about the movie when you first watched it? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.